What's the name again? What are your guys' names again?
Well then, for our viewers out there, because I believe Peter might be watching. He said that he would be looking to watch today. We're playing one shot since we're missing Kurt and Brendan, and so let's introduce the characters. All right, guys. Go ahead, give me your characters, your names, and everything again, and then also give us a physical description.
Oh shit! I didn't get that far ahead.
So, yeah, I'm Graphalore. I got fired from the docks last week. They said I'm some kind of incompetence, but I don't know what they're talking about. You know, I just brought home a girl last week. I showed her my juggling skills. It was great. And I just spent the whole last week planning how I'm going to get back to the Imperial Trading Company. Yeah, they're going to wish they never fired me. And he has gray skin. He's a short, squat, kind of hairy fellow. And his distinguishing characteristic is that his arms go down to his knees, and he would be maybe 6 feet tall. So he's got egregiously long arms.
Monkey arm. He's a monkey arm.
Yeah. He's an orangutan looking fella.
Excellent.
So he can really fling whatever he's juggling, huh?
Usually why he's so good at it.
Fuck your juggling and shove it up your ass.
Juggling, huh?
That's why you hired me, Pengormoth, the tiefling mercenary, with my laser rifle. Anyone who gets in our way, well, they'll see the not-so-friendly end.
You don't care about results, yeah.
So I am Pengormoth, tiefling mercenary with a laser rifle. I am violent and vulgar, if you haven't caught that already. Physical description would be, for a tiefling, he is average height, average build, but his crimson red skin all over his face, leading up to his glorious horns, except for one of his horns just didn't grow quite the same as the other one, so he doesn't have matching horns. And he was always picked on as a tiefling child by the other tieflings for it on this spaceship of tieflings and gnomes and jugglers. He's got rows of jagged, sharp teeth. And when he's smiling, that's when you should be scared.
Okay.
Alrighty. Let's see if I could do this voice. Hey. I'm a little gnome guy. Yeah. Don't mind me. Don't look over there. Look over there. You hear a jangling in my pockets now. Yeah. Hey, how you doing? My name is Zook Rumple Humblebumble. Yes. Don't mind me. Just walking through.
The fuck did you just say?
What?
Did you call me a humble-bumble?
You would be, it would be your honor to be called a humble bumble.
Hey, my welfare money's gone.
Oh boy, you should probably see somebody about that.
Oh my gosh.
Oh boy.
What am I to buy alcohol with now?
Maybe you should sell your body or something. I hear that's very popular right now.
I don't know if I'm that dire straits. Give it another week.
I hear livers are very, very tasty right now. There's a new guy. Likes to eat them.
Does he?
All right. So,
$1?
What's that?
Does he pay $1?
Well, he used to. I heard he's bankrupt now. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. I was just walking through. That's all.
all right. So, on that note, you guys are all on a spaceship. Now, is this spaceship your like a personal vessel? Is this like a larger city-sized intergalactic vessel?
I say it's for you to decide.
Story dice. Ooh.
I should grab some beers.
What was Humblebumble's first name?
Zook.
What was your character's name again, Dustin?
Graphalore.
All right. So, you guys are on your own personal vessel. The vessel is called the Mad Music. You guys can figure out how it got that name. And
Mad music?
yeah, Mad Music.
Okay.
We're on a what vessel? I'm sorry.
You're on a it's like a smaller vessel. It's easily manned by a crew of just 3. It's got some simple weapon systems, defense systems, but it's really utilized more as a kind of scouting vessel. It can get in and out of places fairly quick. It's agile, maneuverable, and it can hold its own in a fight to an extent, but this is not a vessel that is made for fighting. And you are currently en route to take up your grievances with the company that has wronged Graphalore, which has also Pengormoth has his services has been requested by Graphalore to aid him in this, and Zook Rumple Humblebumble is somehow just caught up in this. He's kind of a go get him attitude. And he's along for the ride because he knows that whenever there's carnivores in sight, there's always crumbs left behind. He's ready to snatch them up. And so you've come to discover that the head of the company is actually vampire warlord, but not just any vampire. He's also a were-dragonfly.
A were-dragonfly?
A vampire were-dragonfly.
All right.
A Goliath vampire were-dragonfly.
Sure.
Who is this? That's a Goliath. Where?
The head of the company that's wrong, Graphalore.
Oh.
Goliath.
Where vampire dragonfly?
A Goliath vampire air dragonfly.
I would have guessed that the owner was a vampire of some sort. They sucked all the money out of my pockets and all the years out of my bones.
Oh,
Yeah.
don't worry. We'll show them our grievances.
Yeah. Look, I just really needed some backup. It was like, I need a posse. Oh, wait, they're not going to listen to an old disgruntled worker like me. I at least need to, like, show like I have some sort of authority. I mean, I don't need you to kill anybody. I just really wanted the show.
The fuck did you just say? I'm killing everyone.
Well,
You should use that.
yeah, keep up that attitude. Yeah.
Can I make an addition to my character right now?
How can I say no?
He actually is wielding a gun that looks like this. It's a toy gun, and everyone knows it's a toy gun, but him.
All right.
All right.
So that's going to make combat interesting.
Whatever you're holding right now, that's what your weapon is.
Yeah.
What do you got?
It's super effective. You've never seen me use it.
I have a bottle opener.
I have a fidget cube.
Oh, don't worry, Mr. DM. I already thought this through.
Excellent. Okay. All right. So you guys have gotten notice from the commissioner, who is a mysterious figure that you only know as the commissioner.
Is the commissioner on board?
I'm sorry?
Is the commissioner on board?
He is not, but he has sent you message. He's kind of your contact that has helped you to not only identify the mysterious CEO of the company and given you the information about the source of his power being a vampire were-dragonfly. But he's also given you a schedule so that you can know exactly when and where this individual is going to be. And his name is Elixir.
The CEO.
CEO, the Goliath vampire were-dragonfly, Elixir.
Elixir. Elixir or fish?
So these are the dice that gave me the name.
Licks her. Oh.
Elixir.
An elixir and a fish.
Okay, Elixir. That makes sense.
Is that one name?
And yeah, that's one name. And then this is where I got the commissioner giving you the notice.
I like fish elixir better.
I feel like I need to get story dice. I love these. They're great.
Oh, they just came out with a new one that I just bought for based off of Adventure Time figures.
Nice.
Like BMO?
Huh?
Like BMO?
I don't know BMO. I haven't actually ever seen Adventure Time, but I know it's cool.
Each one of the dice. Oh. Okay.
All right, so you guys know exactly where Fish Elixir is going to be and when, but you also know that he's a powerful opponent. He also rolls real deep with his various guards and underlings, and so you know that you need to approach this relatively cautiously. That being said, you should arrive at the location within the next hour or so. So you have a little bit of time to prepare and plan what your approach is.
I can't wait to fuck up Fish Elixir with this gun. My new gun.
Also, it should be noted that Fish Elixir has a real sweet tooth. Cannot resist a good iced donut.
I'll give him a nice donut, all right.
Like, that's his thing. But he also has an extreme phobia. The commissioner was able to get you this and he wants to let you know that any individuals that have found to be aware of this could find themselves hunted and executed by Fish Elixir. But he has a fear of dowls.
Owls?
Dowls.
Owls? Like
dowls. Like
little girl dolls.
little girls with the beady eyes, the empty, soulless eyes. They just don't do it for him.
Oh, I got it. I know what we gotta do now. So I just sit really still, and then you carry me in like I'm a doll.
Fuck are you thinking? I'm not carrying you.
I'm a doll. I'm a doll. You can't talk to me.
The fuck?
His strings must be in his pockets.
See how convincing that was.
I almost thought you were a doll.
Yeah,
Actually,
exactly.
I'm a little shocked that you were alive.
Yeah, exactly. See?
Graphalore, who the fuck is this? Why'd you even let him on?
This is Zook Humblebumble. He's helped me out in times of need. You know, Zook?
Look.
Oh, my biggest regret is?
All you need is me and my new gun. This baby, I've been told, can kill anyone. And that's what I was been told. Anyone. Do you think this fish Elixir fuck is gonna stand a chance against me and my gun?
Have you fired it?
Fired it? No.
Yeah.
Fuck. I've been saving it for a special occasion.
What, do you have one shot? That's it?
Who the fuck is it? I told you not to bring these fucking idiots on the board. God damn it, Graphalore, you drunk idiot.
You know what? Pengormoth, or I know what I'm doing. I gotta rate all the best of the best. You know? Does it surprise you, any of you, that the brochure for the Mad Music has not matched what we're actually experiencing? The brochure said that this was the most famous musical between planets, and there is no music here.
Oh, did they need the instruments?
Did they need the instruments?
No, I mean, just curious.
It's all right.
I heard their instruments are gone. Don't know what happened. No idea. I was just walking through. That's it.
The only good music is death metal. Doubt they'd be playing that on this fucking ship.
At that moment, suddenly the ship rocks violently. Everybody give me a roll. Roll a d6.
I got a 5.
3.
I got a 3 as well. All right. So the slight gnome, Rumple, because he's nimble, or because he's well balanced, or because he has a preternatural sense of what's coming ahead. Who knows? Somebody with the name Rumple Humblebumble, you can never tell. But he's fine. Meanwhile, both
Graphalore.
Both Graphalore and Pengormoth rock violently to the side of the ship. Graphalore, you're able to hold on to a computer console to kind of balance your fall and break some of the velocity that you normally would have hit the bulkhead with. Unfortunately, you rip the computer out in doing so. And so while you're able to maintain, not being seriously injured, one of the computers has now gone down, and now there's red lights circling around and a klaxon going, whew, whew, whew. Error. And then Pengormoth, you also rock to the side, nearly hitting the bulkhead. However, because you have horns and a thick skull, you're able to tumble into it face first, leaving a face-shaped dent in the bulkhead. And which, so you're not hurt, but then you hear a strange whistle.
Of course I'm not hurt. I've been betting worse scraps than this. Violence is in my middle name. This reminds me of the mosh pits I used to... And then I hear the whistling. What the fuck is that?
I don't know, but who would put an important computer in like middle of where people gather? This is terrible design. It must be the same people that designed that Hawaiian missile test system.
Wait,
what's Hawaii?
Did you see what happened? Did you hear about how that actually happened?
Yeah, like
No.
there was a drop down that said missile test and missile alert. Like there was like right next to each other.
Wait a minute. So that was just poor design?
Yes.
Yes, it was.
Design. How could you? Why would you put those in the same drop down? So dumb. Why would they be in the same system? Like,
and then like I wanted the Washington Post article. I was like, no, we totally got this. We're gonna require 2 people for the next time. You know, you want to do an actual alert.
Yeah. So the one guy goes, "Which one is it? Missile test or missile alert?" Oh yeah, let's do missile alert, and then they both do it.
Yeah. And then they also were like once they did it, they realized they never built in a cancel feature to like cancel it. So they could send out an alert, but they couldn't like tell people that that was a mistake.
Wow.
That's just not good.
That's called budgets.
All right, so you guys have the klaxons going on with the red lights strobing around, talking about errors in computer systems. But in addition to all of that, you have this loud whistle that sounds similar to like a very loud tea kettle going on.
I'm sure it's fine.
Look around. Is there like wind or paper flying about, or does it look like things are moving towards any direction? Like, can Graphalore ascertain whether or not there's maybe a leak somewhere?
Well, Graphalore is not very competent, so give me a roll for that. Because since that is one of his defining features that you mentioned right up front, is incompetence.
He's totally incompetent. I mean, a 2.
And it continues.
So yeah, you just figure that the whistling is, some kind of fun feature because, this is called the mad music. Why wouldn't there be music?
Hey, I kind of get used to this whistling. It's almost like being at the docks. Man, this is some bullshit. This Elixir is gonna hear a Elixir for me. Out of booze.
Can we tell? Is there like a sudden drop in the pressure in the room we're in?
Nothing noticeable right now. Although, well, I'll say that your ears do pop.
Oh, lovely.
Your ears just pop.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I remember this in training. That's not a good sign.
Well, maybe you should fix it, huh? I'm gonna go look at the computer, I guess.
All right. So as you approach the computer, you see what looks like a cat-sized little dragon pop out from behind the console, and he opens his mouth and says, "If you want to access the computer, place a coin in my mouth."
Oh, I'll shove a coin right down your fucking throat.
I'll just look back. Well, come on. I think he probably needs at least I don't know, five at least. Come on. I got nothing.
Fuck, Graphalore, this is your fucking journey, your fucking quest.
I would be more than happy to give, but unfortunately, my extra cash got stolen from me or disappeared, or maybe I forgot it. I don't remember. Maybe I left it back at the job site.
What?
That would probably be the right place if I did it.
You
know,
shit
back
nut.
my legacy, my life.
You were supposed to pay me. If you can't pay the damn cat, how are you supposed to pay me?
It's not a cat, it's a dragon. It's a cat-sized dragon.
It looks like a cat to me.
I'll pay you as soon as we get this business resolved.
Fucking hell. All right, so Pengormoth reaches into his, like, very skim...
Britches?
Yes, britches. He's got, like, a small reserve of coins, and he hands one to Humblebumble. Zook.
I'll just bring the coin in, like man, where does this go? In your mouth?
So the dragon calmly takes it in his mouth and using using only its tongue, wraps it around and pulls it into his throat. And then
that's what she said.
And then the
I'm talking about, yeah.
The little cat dragon nods and says, "Thank you. You may interface with the system." And then there's like an electric spark that floats from the dragon's nose to the console, and suddenly it flares up to life. And you can see screens indicating that there is a sudden drop in pressure, though not significant, and that the computer systems are functioning at about 80%, and that you are just about to hit atmosphere. And without the fully functioning computers, there is a danger of breaking up in the atmosphere.
Did we have any idea which planet we were going to? Or did we just take this ship because we knew it would take us to where fish Elixir said it would be?
The commissioner told you which planet, and you guys set the course based on the commissioner's advice. And this is the planet Barrise.
Barrise?
Yeah, Barrise. And this is what I rolled to get that name.
Hold on a sec. Okay.
Barrise.
I heard Bakar eyes. I put eyes in there.
That works too. It's really about what I say, not what actually happens.
So Pengormoth looks over Zook's head, since Zook is a tiny person. What? Danger? I'm not fucking dying before I get the chance to kill anyone with my new gun. Fix it.
Well, you can always shoot yourself. I'll attempt to fix it.
Okay. roll a d6. Now, because you're a gnome, I'm figuring you're not a magic gnome. You're a tinker gnome. Is that accurate?
No.
He's a charlatan.
Okay.
He's a thief.
Yeah. I'm a sticky fingers. I'm from. It's a small band of gnomes called the Sticky Bandits.
Any relation to the Wet Bandits?
Them bastards.
All right.
I did roll a 5.
So you succeed. So describe how you're able to successfully bring the ship into order after that whole mess. I do figuring we probably have enough time. I'll reboot the system. And then I find a piece of scrap that before I reboot it, I'll take a look at where our possible leak is, and then I'll reboot it, and then I'll find a scrap, and I'll give it to Pengormoth, and just kind of walk him to where the hole is, and then say, "Hold that there. We don't want to burn up." And with that, because of the suctional forces, the piece of scrap immediately clings to the hole. And then also because now that piece of scrap is exposed to the vacuum of space, there's cold welding going on, and it creates an instant seal.
He doesn't know that, so I just told him to stay there.
Excellent.
Do I feel this?
All right, I need to keep track of some quotes now. Suctional forces on the whole. All right. So that works out. Now there's also the problem. So you guys are entering the atmosphere. You no longer have the leak to worry about, but the computer systems are still not fully functional. And so somebody needs to navigate in order to not completely just get destroyed in the atmosphere or go way off course.
Somebody else should do that. My feet don't reach the pedals.
I can navigate. You know, I used to drive forklifts.
Yeah, we should have hired somebody else.
Shit.
I used to be one of the best forklift drivers on the dock. So I can drive this. This is just like a big forklift.
This is a coin-operated forklift.
As you say that, you press the button to go into the pilot's chamber. And you haven't had to look at the pilot's chamber before because thanks to the computer system, it's been on autopilot this entire time. And this isn't any of your ships. It's on loan to you from whatever resource that you've managed to be able to loan out a ship.
Interstellar taxi system.
Right.
Why it's coin operated.
But the pilot's quarters looks like just a giant spiderweb. There's no joysticks, there's no pedals. It's just a big old spider web that somehow controls the ship.
Man, I really
that's where that came from.
Okay. So I walk up to and start strumming the spider web.
So experimentally strumming the spider web, roll a d6.
A 6.
Awesome. So you success and then some. So go ahead, describe how that works. Just experimentally strumming the string of the spider web.
I strum the spider web, one of the tendrils, and I hear a thum, thum, and then like, yeah, I like that. So I strum another one. I go thum, thum, yeah. So then I start strumming 2 at a time, and I end up recreating
The Imperial March.
no the
Funky.
dum, 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 dum. That White Stripe song.
7 Nation Army.
I was totally drawing a blank. So I'm playing 7 Nation Army on the spiderweb because I found the right notes, and that was like my favorite song when I was working on the docks. Like I had headphones in, like I always just had it on repeat, 24/6, and then I would have one day set aside for the Imperial March, standards. And as I start to play 7 Nation Army, the ship comes a little under control. After all, it is the Mad Nimble.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys managed to get the ship under control. The klaxons begin to stop. The red lights are no longer flaring in the ship. Everything seems to be under control. And your target is now within visual range of the sensors. So you get an outlay of the land, and the site of the facility that you're seeing where you're about to land looks like well, the terrain is very strange. This planet, for whatever reason, the land seems to be covered in some kind of substance that really resembles hairy flesh.
I think you made Nora laugh in the other room.
So that is what the surrounding land looks like. There's no large structures to be worried about crashing into, and you get a readout from the system saying that the consistency of the land is spongy enough to absorb impact, so that you don't need to worry too much about the landing process. Even an unskilled pilot can be able to do it safely. But the facility that you're about to land next to is one that is it kind of just looks like a box. There's no real features to it. There's no windows. You can't, from as far as you can tell, you can't tell if there's any doors or anything like that. Of course, you're seeing it still from high up in the atmosphere, and so as you get closer, the sensors might pick up some other things. But that's what you see right now. There's nothing as far in the distance in terms of the horizon. This seems to be the only feature that you can really see. This is where I got the land.
Okay.
Exactly.
They've seen a pounding in there.
That's another.
I needed this. All right. So what are you guys doing now?
So, like, Graphalore is totally in the zone. Like, he is 7 Nation Army. If either Zook or Pengormoth came in, they would see him, like, headbanging and, like, Having my time behind my back. Like he's just like going. He's totally disregarding the world right now.
Have we landed yet?
So just as that's happening, as Graphalore is reaching a crescendo of the music, there is another thunk, and the ship shakes. You know, it's not as bad as last time, so everybody's able to relatively well keep their balance. But you do feel the impact, and you do feel that you're still in motion, but slowly decelerating. And then you come to a stop, and then you hear basically like a ping and saying, and you hear a electronic voice saying, "Thank you. Please come again." And doors open.
Fuck
Oh
you.
man, I was just getting into it. Hey, we landed. Where is that fish Elixir fella?
Thank God you're done playing that racket.
Racket. Son, that's a classic.
Classic. You wouldn't know classic if I shoved this fucking gun up your ass.
I'd probably know. I don't know. I got nothing.
Damn right. Shut your fucking mouth. Fish Elixir.
I go back to my quarters and grab all the instruments and like throw them back into the string room. I didn't know that's what it was for. I know.
All right. So,
did any of us see that?
No,
See
definitely
that?
not.
Okay.
Definitely not.
so as you guys step out into this new world, the sky is a deep purple, and the sun looks to be a very deep red color. It takes up a far larger amount of the sky than the sun that we're used to.
Is there smoke on the water?
There is. Looks like there is a bit of smoke, and there's, because of where you are, there is moisture, like wicking along these very coarse hairs that are erupting from the fleshy ground around you.
It has to be moist.
Right. And
these moist mounds.
Is there a smell? Flesh?
Yeah, does it smell like flesh, or does it just look and feel like
Boy, is there a smell.
Yeah. I mean, the smell smells different to each of you. So go ahead and describe what each of you smell individually.
Smells like fucking ass.
I agree. It smells like dockworker ass. I can tell you a little bit about back when when there's like
dockworker ass.
Yeah, like some days it reaches 90 Kelvin, and like it's really. I don't remember. 0 Kelvin's really cold. I don't remember the actual thing. But like, some days it reaches 99 degree Kelvin, and those days it's just sweating up.
90-degree Kelvin is negative 297 degrees Fahrenheit.
Adjust my
You mean Celsius?
No. This is inner space, so Kelvin. One of these days it's like 350 degrees Kelvin. You just really want to kill yourself. And all that dockworker ass, all it does is just sweat. Sweat's everywhere. It leaks on the floor. It leaks in the boxes, and you have to pick up the boxes. It leaks in the forklift. Have I told you that I'm a dock worker?
I don't know. Can you hear us now? Can you hear us now? All right. We'll wait. We'll wait for I don't know to restart. All right. We'll actually use this opportunity to take a short break.
Okay.
Go grab some beer, I guess.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I can hear you too. Yeah, that was weird. I don't know why. It just like all of a sudden just stopped working.
Because you have selective audio drivers. They have selective hearing.
They didn't want to hear about man ass.
Not many audio drivers do. That's how you can separate a good one from the bad. Or from the rest, rather.
Was mine good or bad?
That's for you to decide.
Hey, does anybody know like how to watch or like see the comments from the live stream if anybody's viewing or anything?
I think you have to go to the your YouTube channel and like look at the chat.
Yeah, I have it open, and I don't see nobody's watching.
Okay.
Or on.
All right, never mind then.
Yeah, when you mentioned that at the beginning, I opened it right away. Or I opened it so I could, just in case Peter was on. Actually, ever since he showed up and was commenting, I've had it open on the other screen just to check to see it in case he'd be back.
Yeah, he has been watching and paying attention. Maybe not necessarily always live, but yeah.
Okay, so I did something before and it fucked up the audio, so I'm going to do it again. Unfortunately, I need to. So let's make sure it doesn't fuck up the audio.
Well, we'll let you know.
You guys talk?
Yep.
Hello?
Yeah.
Fuck. Still fucked up.
Channel your
Fucked
anger.
up. I know you can hear me, but I can't. Can you talk real quick? Just start
What do you
saying
wanna hear?
nonsense.
Blah, 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 blah.
Make fun of
Okay,
him.
yeah, it's not
I
working.
mean, that's what I would do.
Very odd.
How we doing?
I know still having audio difficulties. We can hear him, he can't hear us.
That is unfortunate.
Really? This is a game you choose to just chew on a salami?
It's a pepperoni.
Okay.
It was a Christmas gift.
Oh, that's just the icing on the cake for this game.
I mean, you gotta. Oh, this is great.
Could be worse. I could be eating it from this side. Fun fact: when I was hello,
hear us?
fun fact: when I was about 6 or 7, I cut my thumb, cutting the skin off of a pepperoni.
Really?
Yeah, sliced an artery and everything. Had to get stitches and shit.
An artery? No shit.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Otto, is that you?
Definitely him.
Oh, sorry. I was watching a video trying to figure out what the fuck is wrong with this thing. And it has that dumbass music. I forgot you guys could hear it, but I can't hear you right now.
So your story reminds me of a story of my
I'm
own.
just going to call back in and see if that works.
All right, but so I was in 6th grade, and I remember it very clearly being the first day of winter break, and I was super bored.
Okay, I can hear you now.
All right, well, I'm in the middle of a story, so I was in 6th grade, first day of Christmas break, super bored, and so of course, what do? I see a whole bunch of paper and I see a pair of scissors. So I'm like, I'm just gonna cut paper, and literally, I'm just like real quick, no pattern, no reason, nothing. I'm just cutting paper, and then there's a car commercial that comes on to like my side, and for whatever reason, it captured my attention enough where I'm just like, and then I thought that I just scratched my thumb. Like I thought it was a bad scratch or anything, like a small nick maybe. So I run into the living room. I'm just like, ah. And my mom, her face is just completely pale. And that's when I look around and I'm like, I'm flinging blood everywhere.
Yeah. Whenever
And then my asshole brother, he goes and finds the chunk of skin that I cut off and puts it in an envelope for me.
Maybe he thought you were, you had a Picasso thing going on.
Yeah, when I cut my thumb, one of my sisters and my mom was also in the kitchen. They were at the counter, so their backs were to me. So it was like slow motion whenever I cut myself, and it just happened. And then it was just like, there's like a brief moment, because it was the sharpest knife we fucking had. There was a brief moment where nothing. And then there was just blood everywhere. So I'm like, oh. So I just kind of like stand up. I'm like, Mom. Mom. Just busy doing whatever. My other sister like comes to the kitchen entryway, and like she's holding her baby. There's a fucking baby gate at the door too, so like she can't get in. She's like, oh my god, mother, turn around. Because I'm just fucking just bleeding. It's good times. Good times.
Yeah. All right. So you guys are on the scrotum planet right now. And as you walk out, at your feet, you notice that the land kind of shapes itself and rearranges itself into two doll-like faces, one happy and one sad. And they both fly up, and then they detach from the ground, and they're like in these whirling cloaks of just flesh and hair, with these faces, one happy and one sad, with their dead doll eyes staring at you.
I don't like that. I want to leave now.
So what is staring at us?
Two faces, two doll-like faces, one happy, one sad, and like their bodies are like this cloak-like sort of consistency made from the very ground that you're stepping on. So fleshy hair, hairy flesh, and they're just like staring at you.
Huh. I didn't come here to be stared at by no scrotum faces.
Sorry, I got cut out again. All right, so
Can you hear us yet?
yeah, I can hear you guys now. I missed something about dolls.
Yeah, so at your feet, as you're coming out of your ship, not too far away from blocky building that is your destination, the ground shapes into two faces, like doll-like faces. One looking happy, one looking sad, and they fly up from the ground and detach themselves from the ground, and they look like their faces that have just that flowing from the faces are just these empty cloaks of flesh, hairy flesh, just hanging from them, floating in the air, kind of writhing in the wind, staring at you.
But they're flying.
Yeah.
Okay. The fuck do you want?
They don't respond. They just continue to stare at you with their dead doll eyes. Like,
are there any rocks on the ground?
Yeah, there's something like rocks on the ground.
I'm gonna pick up a couple like fists full size of them, and I'm gonna start juggling them.
Okay. You juggle them expertly.
Graphalore. Oh God. These wouldn't happen to be. Neither one of these is the fish folk we're looking for.
These don't look like fish elixir. They don't look like no Goliath vampire or were-dragonflies to me. All right.
I need to stat out a Goliath vampire were-dragonfly.
I reckon that these things are just pains in my asses.
Yeah. It's really a shame about this man's name. It's so common among other Goliaths.
So the dolls look captivated by the juggling.
There's a building nearby, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
I throw one of the as I'm juggling. I throw one of the rocks at the nearest doll.
All right, roll a d6.
I got a 1.
So not only do you fail to hit at either of them with the rock, it goes way wide, but your diverted attention from the other rocks that you're juggling causes you to miss them, and you suddenly remember them, and as you remember them, you look up, and each one hits you in the face, causing you to stumble forward, senseless, and into one of these flesh-cloaked doll creatures, which then wraps around you, and you can no longer breathe because it is sealed so tightly to your face with this hairy flesh that is kind of poking into your skin in that weird way that hair can do sometimes.
I bang my head against the ground.
All right. You hurt your head pretty bad, but it doesn't seem to have any effect on the cloak guy. And so that was the sad doll face. So you guys see this happen, and the happy doll face just kind of looks at this happening and then looks back at you guys.
I probably just don't even notice. I'm like, oh shit! And I pull out my corkscrew bottle opener and start kind of like poking at the skin that's on him. Not hard, just like poking it.
So each poke causes a red dot to appear that kind of grows as it continues to bleed. So each puncture causes a little bit of bleeding to happen.
So I'm like, "Oi, get off my employer!" And I start running towards Graphalore. And then I drop this to one hand, I grab the doll thing, and I'm like trying to pull it off of him.
Roll a d6.
I grabbed from the other side.
All right. So Kurt, Tony, you roll a d6. Ano, you roll 2d6 because you're a mercenary. I'm going to say you have advantage. If you choose the lower roll, you get advantage on one roll of your choice later.
No, I'll save my employer. I got a 6.
You got a 1 and you got a 6. Okay.
You pull him out and I get stuck in.
No, so much better. So the image in my head is great. So Pengormoth, you tug on this fleshy cloak-like thing, and as you do, you see the doll face kind of on one of the edges, and you punch it, and as you're pulling it, and it causes you to it loosens enough that you're able to rip it off, and instantly Graphalore is back on his feet. Unfortunately, Rumple Humblebumble is also connected to this fleshy cloak-like thing. And the strength of your pull is such that it actually flings him forward towards you. And he knocks into you in such a way that he bounces off your shoulder, launching himself even higher into the air. And that motion somehow triggers your gun, which then goes off and shoots Rumple Humblebumble, causing him to go even higher and bounce in the air. And he lands with a thump.
Hey, it's a fake toy gun, though.
Like a football field away. Yeah, that's why it's really amazing.
It must be light as a feather.
I'm very.
Actually, this is good. So when my gun goes off and it shoots Duke Rumple Bumble, and okay, at this point, is Zook? Do I know Zook is still alive?
Oh yeah, I'm. So the whole time I'm in there, like arm. Ow!
Okay, so I let go of the doll and I start looking at my gun and I'm like, the fuck? You should be dead!
You shot me with a nerf, you bastard!
Nerf?
Oh.
No. I must be using it wrong. That was just a mistake. I'm sure it'll work next time. You got lucky.
Oh boy, we didn't. No, we did not. No.
You sure did. I told you this gun will kill anyone.
Well, we'll make sure to leave you to battle it out.
I'm just picturing a little gnome hitting this tiefling, bouncing off the tiefling, getting shot in the air, bouncing again, and then landing with a thud.
And a Nerf dart sticking out of him.
Yeah.
Nerf for nothing.
It's in your head. It's embedded in your head.
You ever play the Flash game Berserk Ball?
Berserk? I haven't.
It's basically you launch a person with a bat, bang, and they go flying. And there are you get like various perks where you can, like, as they're losing momentum, you can hit them again and launch them further. Yeah.
One of those games. Those games are fun.
You can get
that's exactly what I'm picturing. like you're not just flying through the air. You're kind of twirling with your arms out like a starfish.
I sit up and a fucking nerf right on my head. What?
And with that, both of these things just scatter. They fly out to the horizon.
Are they embarrassed for us?
That would be a safe bet.
Well,
You two are the worst I've ever worked with. That was an embarrassment.
No, we don't have to worry about them warning. Warning, fish Elixir, because they'll think we're no threat. We're just passing through.
They'll certainly think that. Hey, you know, you look like you can get in a lot of small places. We could use a guy like you on the docks. You know, there's a lot of areas that just need to be cleaned, and small shipments of cargo. Some
I do really
more discreet than others.
I definitely do really well at cleaning things. Cleaning places, I should say. Ow.
You look like you haven't that about you.
Yeah.
Graphalore, I'm starting to think that you have a very unhealthy obsession with docks. First it's man-ass, now it's cleaning in small places. And this is coming from a man with an obsession for killing and murder. You need to get checked out.
Hey, man.
What a brilliant...
You lose your job of being a hitman and you're fired because they said that you're incompetent at it. Then you can talk to me about what it means to be obsessed with docks and all of that docks pertain.
You got one thing right in your statement. I don't know what it means to be obsessed with fucking docks. I fuck broads, not docks.
Well, there was a moment of very nice insight on his part, and then it just goes away like that.
Nice? You calling me nice?
Never.
Anyway, we're here to show Fish Elixir who's boss. So this building looks like it would have somebody in it. Shall we check it out?
I'm sure it can't go any worse than it already has.
All right, let's go.
All right, so you get to the building, and it is just a flat gray concrete wall, and from one end of the wall to the other, that's all you see. You go around to another side, same thing. No windows, no doors. As far as you can tell, it's a solid cube. But you have good intel from the commissioner that Fish Elixir is in fact here.
Oh, Fish Elixir! I've got something for you!
And I got something for you. I demand to be reinstated with full pay and a raise.
What? Why don't we just kill the bloke? And take his money?
You gotta negotiate. You can't just show all your hands and all your cards in the opening hand.
Take your cards and shove them up your ass.
That's not even effective for cheating.
Fuck, why are you even still here?
Let's just find a way in, huh?
Give me my Nerf dart back.
Ow!
So we're inside.
How did you get inside?
I I thought I heard that we were inside.
No, not yet. It's a no. There's no doors or windows. How did you get inside? Oh, so we're inside.
It's called
Actually, yeah, we're gonna say yes. You're inside. Just because it's funny. Just because of that. So we're inside. Yes.
How the hell?
That was quick.
The fuck? I look at the Nerf dart like, the fuck?
It was the.
Yes, that was the exact.
That was the key.
The exact resonance, that sound was exactly what you needed to cross the temporal barrier to pass into the spatial barrier of the wall.
That must have been the exact resonance. The temporal barrier to pass the spatial barrier in the wall. All along. I knew this gun was brought along for a reason.
I'm not really sure what you just said, but we're here, and that's important.
This needs to be
Not
written
just that
down.
we're here, but we're here together.
This needs to be written down as a sequel to The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yes. So when you get in, what you see is basically there are a number of shelving units lining the walls that are just full of treasures, gold, artifacts, things that are perfectly fit into the pockets of a gnome. And in the middle of the room,
There's nothing on those shelves anymore.
in the middle of the room, standing with his arms crossed, is Fish Elixir. A very tall, by tall, he's probably about 9 feet tall, bald, mottled gray skin with dark patches of grayer skin, sitting there in what appears to be an admiral's kind of regalia, with lots of buttons, lots of medals, and especially a cape. Basically, he looks like a big, gray, bald version of M. Bison. Okay. And he's standing there with his arms crossed, and he says, "Well, well, well. It's about time that you got here. I was getting a little nervous that you wouldn't make it in time for the party."
Before we talk about partying, which I will never turn down a good party, I demand to get reinstated back into the docks.
Oh, you incompetent fool.
I was a dock worker. My dad was a dock worker. My grandpappy was a dock worker, and I'll be damned if I die not a dock worker.
Oh, you incompetent fool.
Fish.
You aren't here to get your job back. You're here to take revenge, just as I planned.
I'm gonna.
Then I kind of like nudge Pengormoth.
Have you guys ever seen I don't know if the first Conan or the second Conan, where there's like a scene where they're talking, and then Conan's just like, "Enough talk," and just throws like a knife at the guy who's talking. That's what Pengormoth feels like doing right now.
All right, do it. Roll a d6.
Fuck all this talk, and he just starts running towards Fishmonger. He's just running with the gun like this. He's not even like pointing at him. He's just running at Fish Elixir. So what? So do I reach Fish Elixir, or do I need to roll a d6 for something?
Well, what are you gonna do when you reach him?
I'm gonna show you how to use this gun properly. And then I turn it this way. And
It should be
Roll a
noted
d6.
that Zook also takes off simultaneously, but like in like this direction towards all the shiny stuff.
Like a 90-degree angle.
Ah, there's like a moment where it's like those the anime shows where like the eyes get real big and they're sparkly.
All right, so
I rolled a 1.
Pengormoth and Rumple Humblebumble both rolled d6s. So you rolled a 1. Rumple Humblebumble, what did you get?
2.
All right. So I'm going to start with Rumple Humblebumble.
Sure.
You try to grab the shinies, the things that look valuable, especially the ones that can fit in your pockets.
Mm-hmm.
They seem to be glued down. You can't pick them up.
I look
they're
back.
So shiny. They're so shiny.
I look back. Distract him. And I start rifling through a bag for like.
But
I have anti-glue. Of course, I have anti-glue. Why wouldn't I? These people.
But
yeah.
Here's something though. As you're picking these things up, you see something in the corner. It's a chest. And every gnome knows
there's something in the chest.
Good stuff is in the chest.
So yeah, I'm rifling through and I look.
As for Pengormoth, you raise your rifle as a club, and as you're about to hit Elixir, it simply passes through him, and that's when you notice he has moved so quickly that you didn't even see him move. It's almost as if he teleported just behind you, and he kicks you in the ass. He kicks you with a wingtip right in the butthole, and you are launched 20 feet into the air in one of the scalping units, bringing down the whole lot with all the shinies just crumpling on top of you.
Oh, fuck!
You guys, come on, Pengormoth. I know you're better than that.
I haven't felt a fucking kick in my ass that hard since my wife left me. Fuck!
And he says, "Please, I expected better than this. I don't even need to transform into my final form."
I'm going to Graphalore just, I've had enough. If you're not gonna give me what I want, I'm gonna take it. And then I go and I like try to strangle him.
Not even gonna try for like a drunken master or...
I picture this dude running like this.
He's already got really long arms, so it's like,
oh yeah,
the monkey long arms.
You don't have to worry about that. He's super tall.
All right, give me a d6 roll.
A 2.
So Elixir sidesteps you, and you just miss. Meanwhile, Rumple Humblebumble, you have reached the chest. What do you do?
Where's my special keys? Ha! Is it locked? Is there a lock on it?
Yes.
Of course there is. Yes. Like as happy as can be. Just opening this fucking lock. Oh yeah. All right.
The lock whispers back, "Yeah, just like that."
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, you like that? Oh, you like it? Oh yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with that? right, roll a d6. Roll double. Roll advantage since you're a thief. If you take the lower one, you get advantage on one roll of your choice in the future.
Nah, I'll take the 4.
All right. So 4 is where is it? So 4 is success, but so you open it up, and it is glorious. The light shines from within with all the gold, but unfortunately, right on top of that gold is a bunch of TNT rolled together with a timer counting down.
How much time?
30 seconds.
I'm like, I'll just like very carefully grab it. Hey, fish, Elixir!
All right, roll a d6 for the fish, the throw.
4.
Graphalore, roll a d6.
I got a 1.
All right.
Oh boy.
So, Rumple Humblebumble, your aim is true. And as those seconds count down, you've timed it perfectly to explode right in Fish Elixir's face. Unfortunately, Graphalore is right there as well.
That tall bastard, I didn't see him.
And despite having sidestepped Graphalore so easily last time, Graphalore continues to press his attack to try and choke out Fish Elixir. And as he gets within inches of grabbing his throat, the TNT lands between the two and explodes. Fish Elixir is knocked back into a wall, leaving a crater, a person-sized crater in it, where he's just kind of stuck in the wall, just going like, oh! Graphalore is not so lucky. Graphalore not only gets knocked into the wall, but it crumbles beneath him and traps his legs underneath the rocks of the walls.
I just like, oh, like side watching. Oh shit, that's unfortunate. Oh.
I can't be dead yet. I need to die as a dockworker's honor on the docks.
So are we just in a room?
Yeah.
No doors?
No doors. Just shelves full of gold and goodies and that one chest. Otherwise, it's like an open warehouse floor.
I was kind of like, wow, that's pretty full. Let's make a pop. It's like, see if I change rooms.
It echoes all around the room.
No room change.
No room change.
Oh.
Huh. Well, I don't know.
All right.
I think I can fit a few more in here.
Pengormoth, what are you doing right now?
Getting up, rubbing my tender ass.
There you are.
And I find my tail has been bent slightly. Fuck! That pisses me off. and I use my innate tiefling magical powers, and I cast thaumaturgy, and then I turn to fish elixir, and I use the booming voice thing. Fuck you! And I start charging at him again.
So the noise, the vibration of the fuck you is strong enough that from his position in the wall, it shakes him loose and he goes face first into the floor.
Damn right!
I imagine you just kind of like weirdly running at him like that. Like you're just like shaking all over the place. Like
my tail being bent, it's thrown off my equilibrium. So I'm like wobbling a little bit.
Just before you get to him, he suddenly, in a flash, appears before you. But his appearance has changed. The only changes are now his skin is green and he has dragonfly wings.
I knew it!
It's like, oh shit, this must be his final form.
And you notice that there's like this ghostly temple that kind of is behind him in the background for a moment, and then it fades away.
The fuck was that? Politrix?
This is the power from which I draw upon. Prepare to be fish elixir.
Taste this power, motherfucker.
What do you do?
I tried jabbing the back of the thing.
Roll d6.
A 5.
All right. That's a success. So describe what happens when you jab him.
I realize how weak plastic weaponry is. So I successfully connect, but Fish Elixir just looks at me like I'm an idiot. And then I'm just like, fuck.
So at that, all of a sudden, once again, he vanishes. A ghostly after image is left in front of you. And then the next thing you feel is another solid connection right in your beehole with his wingtip. Roll a d6 to see if you can defend against it.
God damn it. Rolled a 2.
This time, instead of flying straight, you fly straight up.
That's what I did the first time, isn't it?
No, you flew forward into the wall and the shelves. This time you fly into the ceiling.
Okay.
You hit the ceiling, and then you fall back down in agony.
Do I fall down, or do my horns pierce the ceiling and I just dangle there?
Yeah, that's what happens. And so you're feeling the great strain on your neck as it's having to carry the entire weight of your body.
Oh, you could have at least taken me out to dinner before you fucked me.
Graphalore, what are you doing with your legs pinned beneath the rubble?
My arms aren't pinned, right?
No, they're not.
So, is this rubble? If I tried to, I'll try to struggle up. Am I able? Is it like small enough where I can fight against it, or is it too large?
Tell me, give me a way that you can use your juggling skill with it, and you can roll a d6 with advantage.
I start like trying to push boulders off, but like I find it easier to like swing. Like I can like kind of, I try instead of trying to push, like I can actually like reach under them a little bit and like start like pushing them and passing them in. So years of intense juggling has made the juggling muscles just bulging.
That's another quote. My juggling muscles are just bulging.
So while he is juggling, he has like increased strength, like almost superhuman strength, than he would like normally just trying to pick something up. So
Go ahead and roll with advantage.
yeah, even though these boulders are bigger, he's able to start lifting them up. I got a 5.
All right, so you're able to get out.
So yeah, you see like these boulders just starting to fly through the air, and Graphalore like, yes, yes, nothing.
You still have them. You still have them. Even though you're out, you still have them. You're still juggling with them.
So then I start just like throwing them like towards Fish Elixir.
All right, roll a d6 and go ahead and roll it with advantage.
I got 2 6s.
Nice. All right, so that's just, a critical, in my opinion. So go ahead and describe exactly what happens. And what you describe is what happens.
So the boulders are flying through the air, and they just and in a grace that's only brought by years of expertise. The boulders sail through the air, singing as they pass, and they knock out both. One knocks out one wing, the other knocks out another wing, and the last boulder pins Fish Elixir to the ground, and his carapace has been damaged, and he's immobilized.
All right. And Pengormoth? Pengormoth. Roll a d6 for me. You're rolling at a disadvantage.
Three.
All right. So you feel your horns loosening. You're about to fall down. But you also notice, because of the way that this thing has pinched nerves in your neck because of all the weight being placed on it, you've lost some control of your body. The control is specifically in your bowels. And you just let loose a torrent. But just right below you just happens to be the body of Fish Elixir. And so as you finally fall from the ceiling, a stream of fluid that just smells falls right into Fish Elixir's mouth, causing him to vomit. But it propels you enough that you have a softer landing, and you're able to flip in the air and land next to him on your feet.
Fucking graceful.
I don't know if I'd want to flip with that, but
by the way, Rumple Humblebumble, what are you doing as this is happening?
I'm just like knocking on I'm saddled with, like, you hear it with every step. Just kind of like knocking on the walls, just trying to find a door. Every once in a while I'll look over. Yeah, sir, they're fine. Just trying to see if I can get a way out of here. Every once in a while. Just trying various things.
Right. Roll a d6 for me. See if you can find the right frequency.
A 4.
So you do find the right frequency to a point. Let's let the story dice tell me what's going to happen. you find the right frequency, and suddenly you find yourself outside. And you're like, oh, hey, cool. But then you get this pain in your head that is like impossible to bear. And you're looking around and you're realizing that in your mind you're seeing two images. Because your face is also on the back of your head.
Sure. So it's just the one face now on the back of my head, or do I have two faces?
No, you have two faces.
I'm like, okay, I can work with this. I can work with this.
Meanwhile, Pengormoth and Graphalore, you are standing over the defeated body of Elixir. What do you have to say or do at this point? Elixir is not just defeated, he's horribly defeated, spitting out feces in his mouth, the tiefling feces that...
Smells like hellish shit, doesn't it? That's the fiend blood in my blood. And stool.
You should probably get that checked out.
Yeah, you're probably right.
So, can I get my job back? I want to be manager. Graphalore. Lord Graphalore. President Lord Graphalore.
Elixir is just about to raise his hand and answer, and just before you can, you guys hear and all of a sudden there's a crash to the ceiling, and police cars land right beside you, and coming out of the police cars are people in uniforms that look exactly like police officers, except they're anthropomorphic dolphins.
Okay.
Of course they.
And they say, "Oh, good, you got him. We've been looking for this guy on the. He's been on the lam for forever."
How'd they get in?
Through the ceiling.
Crash the ceiling.
Fuck!
Yeah.
It's the fuzz! I've got to get out of here!
And they say, "Thank you. This guy's been on the lam for tax evasion."
Shit, they're talking about me! You're gonna take me alive, you fuck!
So two of the officers kind of look at Pengormoth, and then they look at each other, and one goes, "Ee, ee, ee, ee," and the other goes, "Ee, ee, ee," and then they look at you, and they're like, "Who are you?"
You don't know who you don't know who I am. Oh, just a man with a toy gun.
How tall is the building?
Probably about 30 feet.
Do I think I can climb it?
Yeah. You think you can climb it?
Sure, I'm gonna try. I saw a thing
1d6.
crash into the top of it. I'm gonna try and climb up there.
I'm gonna give you advantage since you're a thief.
Okay.
Do it.
Alrighty. I got a 4.
All right, so you're able to climb it. You decide what goes wrong.
So I make it up to the top. Turns out I'm afraid of heights. I didn't know this. Didn't know this about myself. So
Never know until you push the limits.
look through, yeah. Look through the hole. Hey guys, I'm stuck. Get me out. Help me. And
Unfortunately,
kinda, like,
there's
curl up.
there's so much concrete in between you and them, and the holes are so far away they can't hear you.
Yeah. That's where I'm at. I'm stuck.
So Graphalore is looking around and he sees Zook, Rumple Humblebumble. He's like doesn't see where he is. He's kind of looking around and oh. And I turn to the dolphins like, this man took my job. Being a dock worker is all I had. Can you give it back to me? Now I got nothing.
Sir, capturing this fugitive comes with a 2 million credit reward. I don't think you need to worry about being a dock worker.
I can own my own docks. I can become dock lord.
You see the dolphins kind of look at each other and go, and then they say, yeah, sure, buddy. Whatever floats your boat.
This is great. All my family has always been dock workers, but never have they been dock lords. Yes. I will be a benevolent ruler of the docks.
Help!
I turn. Oh, can I hear where? Can I hear that?
Yes.
Can I see where it's coming from?
No, but you know it's from the roof. You hear it from the hole in the roof.
I imagine like kind of looking up and then seeing like little legs dangling. Or...
No way. No way. That would be way too frightening.
I don't suppose you could. Yeah, it looks like our little friend might have gotten stuck up there. Would you be able to go get him?
No time, sir. Got to process the criminal. They slap him in the cuffs. They put him in the car, and then they drive off, putting a hole right into the wall.
Oh shit! Oh, so glad they're going. Holy fuck! How can they not know who I am?
Obviously, your reputation has sort of preceded you because you were here with me, and you know. It hasn't preceded all corners of human civilization, apparently.
Starting to suspect you're not gonna pay me.
No, I just got money. Yeah, I just came into a lot of money. They never really
At that point, you realize they didn't actually give you any document about having captured fish Elixir.
Help!
I got screwed.
Well, at least somebody's having a good time.
I got a plan.
I love it when a plan comes together.
We can go petition to the head of police to get my money back.
Why don't we keep the building?
I mean, it has like a couple holes in it. I suppose it would be a start of a dock, maybe a warehouse for.
It has treasure. We just have to figure out all the frequencies. Help!
So Graphalore is gonna try to climb to see if he can find where Zook got off to.
All right. So you guys have completed the journey, and so each of you give us a postscript of what happens to your characters
Pengormoth. Wait, no, I'm gonna let Graphalore go first because I want to know if he finds money to pay me or not.
So, Graphalore was not able to convince anybody to come with him to retrieve his other, now new vengeance, or new goal, which was to get even with the police who fleeced him of his money. So after being turned away by the chief of police and not having a compelling argument, nor having Zook or Pengormoth at his side, he went and just took this ship to ship, this system, looking for another dock to work at. But every dock he tried to start working at was never as good as the one that he got fired from.
He never went back.
He never finds his dock.
He never went back to the original one that probably would have took him back.
No, he didn't. I mean, he's pretty incompetent.
I'm sorry, I missed if you paid me or not.
I did not. I was trying to convince you. I tried to convince you to come on my next scheme to go get money from the police. But you didn't. I just assumed you didn't believe me.
I said, fuck off.
After not paying you, that's what I would have done.
And I raised my toy gun at you, but then I realized it won't do anything. And I just look pissed. So Pengormoth goes off and he sells his prized toy gun. As he's handing it over for a measly copper, or whatever the galactic currency is, he's like,
a billionth of a credit.
As he sells it for a billionth of a credit, he looks at it very sad, like, wishing that it was all it was promised to be. And he spends the rest of his days. No, not the rest of his days. Then he goes and he goes to like the nearest galactic police station and is like, "You really not know who I am?" So then he starts trying to commit crimes to become known.
It's like Bender.
But he fails every time.
He's never successful.
He ends up saving people every time he tries to like murder people, or like he ends up doing something good whenever he tries to do something bad.
So that's two unhappy endings.
I imagine
what happens
kind of guy that would like break into a burning building to try to kill the people inside, but like he actually like opens up a doorway so they can escape.
And he's like chopping at them, and they all run past like, "Thanks, he saved us." No.
So what happens to Zook, Rumple Humblebumble?
Zook likes the potential. Once he eventually gets somebody to get him down from the roof, he works he works tirelessly to figure out whatever code is necessary to work this building. It's like, I've got to figure it out. What if he has a ship here? I'd love a ship. I haven't stolen a ship yet. That's his main goal, is to take a ship. He wants to just take a ship. So he would work very hard, to do that, assuming that this guy had a ship in this building. If he didn't, then I guess he's just kind of stuck here.
Well, you're in charge of your post credits. Does he ever find the ship? Is it ever there?
Let's
Does he ever find the frequency?
let's roll a
Does he
d6.
get distracted by something else?
Yes, but he discovers all the ways to move about the building, but all other rooms are completely barren. Only the one room had anything in it. So he then has to try and figure out how to get off of this planet now. So he's got like starts working together like different wiring, and they're using gold coins for conduit and set up like a rudimentary like telecommunication system to try and reach out.
And how does having that second face on his head impact him?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean that only helps him out later on. It's like having a second pair of eyes. I don't have to team up with anybody now. I got it right here.
Now the question is that another person on? Is that another Rumple Humblebumble, or is that all the same brain?
Dun dun dun.
Does he talk to himself? Is he his own best friend?
I mean, even without the second face, he did. Nobody ever heard it. He's just always mumbling to himself.
Mhm.
Shiny, oh shiny. Run that direction. But yeah, he basically is just never excels past the petty theft. It's always petty theft. He always eyeballs the ships, but can never get onto one to take it.
Hmm.
I almost
White whale.
Yeah.
I almost thought like it would if you would have said like you found a ship, but it was too small.
Too small even for me.
Yeah.
Or it was a giant's ship.
There's no way you could even move it.
No. In fact, there was one time I got onto a ship, but like before, my feet are too small to reach the pedals.
Ah.
My legs are too short. Couldn't fucking fly it. Dang it.
The end. What did everybody think of it?
That was good. That was fun.
That was certainly an entertaining game.
I'll have to tell my friend about the adventure I took his character on. I'm positive he's not going to be playing it that particular way, but
What were everybody's highlights?
It's been the amount of
innuendo.
dirty innuendo jokes.
The sheer number of them.
Suctional forces on the whole. That was probably one of the funniest ones to me. Because I think you were saying it, but I don't know if you meant it to mean.
I didn't mean it like that.
You're like this big suctional force just plugs this up. It was just really good.
I like you described how there was no way to get inside, and then Dustin's like, "Oh, we're inside." So then we were inside.
Yeah. That's definitely one way to do it.
It's imagination.
Yeah, it was very much, very much like Hitchhiker's Guide.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause, like that little bit there, just like, oh, we're inside now. Like, yeah, sure, why not? You're inside now.
After you made that comment, that's why I made the policemen anthropomorphic dolphins.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen Hikers or read the book.
Yeah, I've read. There's like a couple chapters I haven't been able to read yet, but it's a hell of a fucking book, man.
It is. It's really good.
Are you reading it right now?
I'm I'm kind of am.
Okay.
When I get a chance, basically. And then, but yeah, like just that whole bit about just okay, we're inside now reminds me of the Hitchhiker's Guide. It has a bit about how to fly.
Yes, I love that part.
It's real simple. Flying is real easy. The whole thing is just falling, but forgetting to hit the ground. That's it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm really glad everybody enjoyed the game today. I definitely had a lot of fun doing it. This was definitely what I needed.
DD always does the trick.
That was fun.
Especially when story dice are involved.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, how else could you come up with a Goliath vampire were-dragonfly?
I would like to see that as like in some way, shape, or form somewhere in McCormick's Volley. I don't know how. Maybe it could be like even like the remains of something in a dungeon. But like
I'm
boss.
I'm definitely going to try and work it in. I mean that is such, you can't get an image like that out of your head. Once you say it, it has power.
Yeah.
So and it fits really well because of what with Colmar's the email adventures me and Peter are doing with Colmar right now. There's a whole bunch of were creatures that he's encountering, so that, and he's in Atur, which is the city of the dead, basically, where Karnath has all their undead forces stored for a rainy day. So yeah, that thing is definitely going to be showing around soon.
Sweet. All right.
All right. So is everybody good for next week?
I'll be good.
Should be.
Yep, should be good.
All right. So we will continue on the adventures next week then.
All right.
Sounds good.
See you later. Have a good week, guys.
Well,
All
later.
right. Take care, everyone.